I hope you're okay. I hope you're doing fine. So today, this week, I was very busy. Busy. So I decided, because I promised you guys that we won't be missing our usual Sunday videos, I'll share with you my assignment on, okay, it's basically an environment unit, but the main assignment is on the ozone layer. So enjoy the video, get to know more about the ozone layer, and make sure after you get the information, you go out there and also get more sources, learn more about the ozone layer, and take precaution and take care of our environment, guys. And before I show you my video, make sure to subscribe, guys. Make sure to watch my video till the end. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up, because we may struggle, and yeah, basically enjoy it, and drop comments. Let's interact in the comment section, guys. Thank you. Hey everyone, on behalf of group 1, I'll be taking you through the ozone layer, and I'm going to try and make this very simple and systematic. So basically, the ozone layer is a layer of the atmosphere that spreads in the stratosphere. And when I'm talking about stratosphere, I mean levels of the atmosphere. So stratosphere is after the troposphere, which is the lowest level of the atmosphere. So like I was saying before, the ozone layer is a layer of the atmosphere that spreads in the stratosphere and protects the earth from harmful UV beta radiations. So basically, we can say that the ozone layer is a shield to the earth. So it is believed that the ozone layer is about 24 kilometers above the earth's surface, and it is contained, or rather 90% of the ozone layer is contained in the stratosphere, especially the bottom part of the stratosphere. So the ozone layer is formed through a process called photolysis. So what happens is that we have an oxygen molecule here. So the UV light comes and disassociates this molecule, and then we have a single oxygen atom here, and we have another single oxygen atom here. So what happens is that this single oxygen atom bonds with a oxygen molecule O2. So when O bonds with O2, we have O3, which is trioxygen, and trioxygen is basically ozone. So let me repeat: an oxygen atom bonds with an oxygen molecule, which is O2, and they form O3, which is ozone. So another thing to note is that this reaction actually prevents the UV radiation from penetrating the Earth's surface, because the UV light is being absorbed in this reaction. So it is dissociating and doing all of that, and it is also being prevented from penetrating the Earth's surface. So ozone layer depletion is basically the gradual thinning of the ozone layer due to chemical compounds that contain gaseous chlorine and bromine. And it was actually found out that bromine is worse than chlorine in depleting the ozone layer. So these chemical compounds are mainly from human activities, for example, industrial activities and even household activities. So how this depletion occurs is also through photolysis. So what happens is that CFCs, and that is chlorofluorocarbons, are released into the atmosphere, and because of their chemical stability, they diffuse and they rise into the stratosphere. And then after that, photolysis takes place, and a chlorine atom is liberated. So what this chlorine atom does is that it bonds with the trioxygen O3, which is the ozone. So it breaks off one of the the oxygen atoms of the O3, and basically it's no longer ozone. So that's how depletion takes place, and this reaction can take place for a longer time, because we're told that when CFCs are released into the atmosphere, they take about 50 to 100 years. So once they are released, that's how long they stay in the atmosphere, 50 to 100 years. And a chlorine atom can destroy up to 100,000 oxygen molecules. So that's how depletion takes place. So the most severe case of ozone depletion is something called ozone holes, and it is mainly pronounced in the polar region, and that is the Antarctic places, those Antarctica places. So why the ozone is regarded as an existential threat is because earlier we talked about the ozone layer being a shield that protects the earth from harmful UV beta radiations. So we know that we are becoming more industrialized. So we are going to be using more of these gases. As much as there are frameworks in place, we're going to be using these gases, and they are widely used because of their characteristics. We talked about having chemical stability. They're actually not that pricey. They have low corrosiveness. They're also they have low toxicity, and they have low or zero flammability. So that's why they're actually being used widely. And another thing is that we have gases, or rather chemical compounds like dichloromethane, which were not phased out by the Montreal Protocol because people felt like they were not as bad, and they're not gonna cause an issue to the ozone layer. But now what people are finding out is that there are actually a lot of traces of the dichloromethane in the atmosphere, and when they actually increase and rise to the stratosphere, they can actually damage the ozone layer. So things like this actually make the ozone layer depletion to be an existential threat, because we are doing all of these things and we are actually exposing ourselves to very many risks. So the impacts of ozone layer depletion to the environment are actually very many. There's impact to the human life, or rather human beings. There's impact on life on water. There's impact on plants. It just basically messes up the ecosystem. For us human beings, we get cancers, for example, skin cancers. It causes eye cataracts. It suppresses the immune system, among other many impacts to human beings. It also causes stunted growth in plants. It also reduces yields. And then for life on water, it actually kills the phytoplanktons, which act as food to like the fishes on water and basically life on water. So it messes up our ecosystem. It damages a lot of things. So that's why we need to actually take precaution and make sure that the ozone layer is protected. So the frameworks in place pertaining to ozone layer depletion are as follows. And what happened is, around 1970s and 1980s, the international community became increasingly concerned that ozone depleting substances would harm the ozone layer. So for that, people started cooperating on the issue. People started forming treaties. So we had Vienna Convention for the Protection of the Ozone Layer of 1985, which actually formalized international cooperation on this issue. So this convention was not actually legally binding. So from that, we had the Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer in 1987. So this actually reduced emissions of ozone depleting substances. Another framework is amendments of the Montreal. We have the London Amendment in 1990. We have the Copenhagen Amendment in 1992, Montreal Amendment in 1997, Beijing Amendment in 1999. We also have UNEP Ozone Secretariat, who implements the Montreal Protocol, which is actually the main framework on issues dealing with ozone depletion. We also have assessment panels. So what these people do is to basically issue regular reports on progress on implementing the phase outs of ozone depleting substances. And then finally, we have the ozone action. So basically what this does is to build capacity of developing countries on dealing with the issue of ozone depletion. So there are many frameworks, but I just summarize them into some of the main frameworks. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we will be discussing more about ozone layer. Thank you. So that's it for today, guys. That was my assignment. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe, guys. I hope mume watch your video mukaelewa, and andikeni comments, nipatieni your insights, and yeah, that's all, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.